What's up, guys? So in today's video, I want to go over pricing of Soviet ballistic vests and what I think fair pricing is for more commonly seen vests that you might see on the marketplace somewhere. I will not be going over super niche vests, as mostly people will pay whatever they want for them, and there's not really a baseline for a price that I would recommend for them to be sold for. And I want to give a disclaimer. I am aware that the prices that I am listing are just recommendations, what I think is fair for them. I know people might complain saying, oh, like times have changed, it's 2025, like these prices are stupid, like it's worth a lot more now, but I tend to disagree. These are prices that I would pay and what I think they are fairly valued at in today's market. And for one more disclaimer, the prices that I give in this video are for vests that have the Kevlar, but no plates, as vests with plates can sell for pretty much anything. So I'm just giving prices on vests that have Kevlar and not just covers, because that's also wildly different in what they would be priced for. So just vests that have Kevlar. So starting off with the 6B series, the 6B1, I would say it's valued at $300 to $500. They are very rare. You do not see them come up for sale pretty much ever. And when I have seen them come up for sale, they've been in that range of $300 to $500, which I think is reasonable. Anything over $500, you're overpaying for it. Next vest is the 6B2. I would say they're also worth about $200 to $400. They're a bit more common than the 6B1, but also still not, you don't see them come up for sale that often. But $200 to $400, I would say, is a reasonable price for one. For the 6B3 and most of its variations, I would say it's valued at $150 to $250. These vests aren't that rare, honestly. They come up for sale on a weekly basis, and if you're paying anything over $250, it's really not a good deal. You can wait and you'll probably find one to come up in that range of $150 to $250. You just have to have patience. For the 6B4, this is a very rare vest. I've only seen like a handful come up for sale, and the prices vary wildly. Like once I saw it come up for under 200, once I saw it come up for over 400. So I would say, honestly, since of how rare it is, it'd be 300 to 500, as they really don't come up for sale. But if you get lucky, you get one under 200, that'd be a great deal for one. For the 6B5, the non-camouflage variants are worth under 200. This is one of the most common vests of the Soviet era vests. So I would not spend anything over 200 for a 6B5-15 or 16, 17, 18, 19, whatever. All the variations above the 6B5-15, I don't think a specific variation brings more money. Like a 6B5-19, I don't think it brings more money than like a 6B5-15 or a 16 or a 17. But 6B5-19 and 6B5-15 are probably the most common out of the bunch, along with the 6B5-18. You don't really see many 6B5-16s, but they're all basically the same vest. They just had different plates over time. The price difference between these variations is pretty negligible, so I wouldn't worry too much about a specific variation being more expensive than the other one, as they're pretty much the same vests. They just came with different plates when they were first manufactured, and most of them, probably 90% of them, don't have plates anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much, unless you're specifically looking for a variation for an impression, which I understand. But with the camouflage variants, like the Bariska camouflage 6B5-15, I've seen them go for $200 to $500. I say they're worth under 300. They're a lot more rare than they were a couple years ago, but I'd say 300 to maybe 400 would be an okay price for one. Anything over 400 is way too much. And with the TTSKO 6B5-15, I'd say that's worth 300 to 400. And again, anything over 400, it's a little too much. I've seen TTSKO 6B5-15s come up for sale under 200 several times. And the one I got for like 150. So they are very rare. They're very cool, but not worth over 400. I mean, you could probably get that if someone really wants it, but it's not really a fair price. Now on to the more uncommon vests, like the 6B2-3T. That vest is incredibly rare. I would say it's worth anywhere from $400 to $600. I honestly never see them come up for sale, and the one that I bought, the seller didn't know what it was. And if the seller did know what it was, it'd be worth a lot more than what I paid for. So I'm guessing that's worth $400 to $600, but I really haven't seen one come up for sale that the seller knows what it is. And with the ZL vest, which is like the stab proof vest, they mainly always come with the armor. It's actually uncommon to see them without the armor, at least in my experience. I mean, probably like 60 or 70% of the time I've seen them come up for sale, they've had the armor, because it's not like your average armor vest. You kind of have to like dismantle the vest to take the armor out. So I would say they're worth under 300. I mean, they're pretty cool, but not a lot of people go for them. They're not very desirable compared to some of the other vests on this list. Now, that is pretty much all of the Soviet era vests that you would see come up for sale. There is a decent number of incredibly niche vests that I have not covered, but you will probably never see them come up for sale. So I've covered most of the basics of what these Soviet vests should sell for and what is reasonable for them to be selling for. And as I stated previously in the video, I know some people might be upset and say that these prices are maybe too low or whatever, but the price gouging on like eBay for vests like this is ridiculous. But it is a buyer's market. There's a lot more buyers than sellers, so obviously the prices will go up, and a lot of these prices you won't see them sell for. So it's just my take on what they should sell for, and I hope this helps for giving you guys like a baseline of what would be a good price for the vest that you are looking to purchase.